See, you're not getting it. All right, you're not understanding. Let me explain it to you just a little bit slower. See, Bluey here, Bluey is the kingpin of the entire town, of the house. Bluey's got so many friends. Bluey doesn't even know what to do with the friends. All right. So then there's Bingo. All right. Some say Dingo, but it's Bingo. Bingo is the ace in the hole. Bingo's gonna get Bluey to be good, to act right. They're like each other's Hawkman, Hawkwoman, except they're both girls and they're both sisters, so there's no love in there. But it's great. Bluey and Dingo, they run the town. They walk around. People are afraid of them. People don't know what to do when they're around. They run. That's how scared they are. Then you need mom and you need dad to sit there and be the ones who can teach these kids to act right. So Bluey, mom, dad, Bingo. They go on a road trip all around. They see their friends. First half of the movie, boom, they see their friends. Second half of the movie, they come to America. Everybody in America is not what? Not a dog, but no. Everybody in America is a different animal. They're snakes. We're snakes. We're over here. We're being mean. And then when the credits roll, that's the first 97 minutes of the movie. The next 97 minutes is crazy. It's astounding. It's fantastical. Then the theme song comes up and we hear just a remade version. And you know how like some people remake Survivor, they release like slow adult versions of songs from the early 2000s. Well, now we've got the version for Bluey, and it's a slow dun 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 dun, and then it opens and Bluey's in there and they're fighting everybody. They're knocking people out, slapping people left and right. Got to keep it PG-13 because the kids that love this show are not allowed to see R-rated movies, and that's facts.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is from the silver to the big screen news that you didn't know about. Bob's Burgers, the movie, I think it's called the Bob's Burgers movie, was released in theaters a couple weeks ago. And you know what? After 2 years of this thing probably sitting on a hard drive somewhere, it was so good, so great. In fact, I think it is the best TV to big screen adaptation to date. And those are facts, because the last one that came out, I think, was the Simpsons movie in 2008. So here we are, Bob's Burgers, the movie. We came from 12 seasons of this show. I think it just ended 12 seasons. 12 seasons of this show to go to the movie, even though it was supposed to come out during season 10, the movie. They spent these last 2 years, I think, just perfecting it, doing some little tweaks here and there. It's not so much a musical as they said it was going to be. There's maybe 4 songs in it, and one of them is kept off the album because it is a quote-unquote spoiler for the movie. Anyway, Bob's Burgers movie is a really good rendition of the show. And I think, and in fact, what these other adult animated films don't have, and the children animated films and TV shows that go to the theaters, what they are lacking is a cohesive story. I was wrong. Paw Patrol, the movie that came out, that was the last TV show to movie theater, big screen movie. What they lack are full stories. And while I do think I've never seen Paw Patrol, but while I do think that the Simpsons movie, and even I just rewatched South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, I do think that those are, I think to say that these movies are just longer episodes does not do them justice. I think that they are their own self-contained stories, with the exception of, I guess, Bob's Burgers and the Simpsons movie, which will not have, those don't have permanent effects on the world, even though South Park's kind of did, because they did kill Kenny. Spoiler alert, the movie's from 1999. So I do think that in terms of Bob's Burgers, it tells a nice 90-minute story. The Simpsons movie, I think, is 78 minutes long, and South Park is like 82 or something like that. It's 105 minutes with credits. It does the thing where it puts the shading on all the characters, and you just get this big feel for a movie. It was great. It's fantastic. I truly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see it again. So now I want to go through the movies that came before it. So there's the Paw Patrol movie. I've never seen that one, and I probably will never see it because I don't have a child. And even though I did talk about Bluey at the cold open of this episode, it doesn't matter. So here's the Simpsons movie. I have two versions of it on DVD and on Blu-ray. I think the Blu-ray does skip because I did buy it used. The DVD, you know, I didn't want to talk about this, but the DVD came with a newspaper from the Springfield Shopper, and I still have it. It's great. It's got little ads. It's got little stories. It's very fun. Anyway, so if you can find that, get it. But the Simpsons movie, I think, is in fact one of the bigger stories without going over the top, as you know, as you'll see when I go down to the other movies here. It tells a very insular story about family, just like Bob's Burgers movie, and it's also very funny. What it's lacking is it just needs to slow down. The pacing is a little bit fast. It's 78 minutes of a storyline, and then 4 minutes of credits, and the jokes come faster than any episode of the show. Like I think than any episode, and I watch the show every single day, so it's crazy that they jam packed it, with all these jokes, but then it just doesn't have the times that it has to breathe are few and far between. So the movie I think that really takes it over the top is South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And I think I don't know if you can wear out discs, but I've watched this movie so many times. Like the Bob's Burgers movie, it does take the characters you like and know, but this is made at a different time in South Park. South Park now is kind of angry and bitter and a lot more racist. And it really doesn't have anything to say versus when in 1999 when this movie came out, it kind of did it, even though it tells a lot of dated jokes. But it's a very funny movie. There's still a lot of jokes that still play very hard, play very well. I think if they did a sequel, which they do have those mini movies, which are just hour long or hour and 10-minute long specials over there on Paramount Plus and HBO Max. If they did do a real proper film again, it would be I don't think it would be a good follow up to this because in this movie for instance, Randy Stan's dad is now a huge part of the show. And in this movie, he gets maybe 2 lines, and then Kenny, you can barely understand what he's saying, and now in the show, you can understand every filthy word he's saying. It's just different things, different time in this movie. The next one that I really thought of is Beavis and Butthead Do America. I can't believe I forgot about this movie. I used to watch this and South Park Bigger and Longer and Uncut like crazy. I'm not kidding. When I was a kid, I used to watch these all the time. So Beavis and Butthead Do America. I think this is a very good rendition. Like they took an 11-minute show and turned it into an 80-minute movie. It says here 80 minutes. 1996. It's from what this is the one movie I did not get a chance to rewatch, but recently. But it's from what I remember very funny and very much Beavis and Butthead. And the sequel is coming out in a couple of weeks, I believe, or July, I think. And unlike the Bob's Burgers movie, you don't really get the characters that you know and love. These guys go across on a tour of America. Not really a tour. You'll just watch the movie and you'll see. The next one that I'm thinking of is Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Now, I besides the Simpsons movie, and I think that is the gap between the Simpsons movie and Teen Titans Go to the Movies. There's no TV shows to movies there that I can think of. Teen Titans Go to the Movies is a real. It made me like the show, quite frankly, and I believe that it is what prior to Bob's Burgers, the movie, it is what showed that TV shows that go to movies, that become movies, can also be, when I say mature, I don't mean mature in the sense that they have mature and adult themes. I mean mature in that they can tell these stories and last longer than the 11 minutes that the episodes they are. And so Teen Titans Go to the Movies is a good representation of the show and a great representation of the movie. So check it out, even if you don't like the show. The next movie I'm thinking of, Hey Arnold, the movie. Okay, Hey Arnold, Doug's first movie, the Rugrats and the Rugrats series, and the Wild Thornberrys movie. Uh, all those movies are all Nickelodeon movies. Nickelodeon used to just take their shows and allow them to breathe in theaters, and it's crazy that still happens. That happened, and now like they've partnered up with well, for a little bit, for like 3 movies I think they partnered up with Netflix in order to have follow-ups to shows like Invader Zim, Rocko's Modern Life, and Hey Arnold himself. But these first movies, Doug's first movie, Hey Arnold the movie, the Rugrats series, Rugrats Go Wild. I'm going to go backwards. Rugrats Go Wild, Rugrats in Paris, and the Rugrats movie, and the Wild Thornberrys movie. So Wild Thornberrys and Rugrats had 2 movies, I guess, or 0.5, each. It's they made going. Those movies should have been on streaming. They should have been straight to DVD. I think Rugrats Go Wild was straight to DVD, but it really was fascinating to see these characters get more than their 20 minutes that they're used to on Nickelodeon. And in terms of Doug's first movie, I think that was a bridge between the Nickelodeon show and the Disney show. For Hey Arnold the movie, Hey Arnold the movie, Bob's Burgers the movie reminds me a lot of Hey Arnold the movie because it is talking about this neighborhood with these characters that we know, and we do get to see some exposition in terms of romance plot between Helga, his bully, and his lover, and Hey Arnold himself, and you get to see these kids grow up, and then for Doug's first movie, it becomes something that it never was, which was paranormal. There's a lake monster, and they have to learn to hide and live with the lake monster. And then for Rugrats, more or less the same thing when Rugrats Go Wild in the Wild Thornberrys movie. For the Wild Thornberrys, the what's her name? Eliza's sister Debbie learns about her secret, and she gives it up for a little bit, and now it's back or whatever. She can still talk to animals, and now that exists in the Rugrats world. The Rugrats, they go to Paris. Tommy tries to get rid of his baby brother. It's crazy what's going on in these cartoons that are supposed to be more or less grounded. But again, you hear that these movies are supposed to, or not supposed to, that they're just long episodes, and they're not. And a lot of them, I think that's unfair to say, especially for the last couple of movies. They're not long episodes. Batman Return of the Joker, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker is not a long episode of the show. It may feel like that because you're used to watching that, but I think if you can have a cohesive story for 80 minutes and bring the characters into lights that they've never had before, then I mean, what's stopping them? I mean, it's great. We should keep doing this, and I think that as long as a movie like the Bob's Burgers movie can make it to theaters, and we can push butts in seats, then maybe, just maybe, we can continue having things like a Bob's Burgers movie. Maybe, who knows? One day we'll get a real Family Guy movie. I don't know if that's going to be, something it's like Deadpool 2. It tells jokes of the time, and then it's only funny for those 2 years. Maybe we'll get a Duncanville movie. Maybe we'll get an Archer movie. Who knows? You know what I know? I know you can subscribe and check out one of our other videos. Of course, you can head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many other things that you'll get tired of me doing this. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast wherever you get your podcast. And please let me make this Bluey movie. Please, it'll be rated PG-13, maybe even TVMA. Just let me have my